What is up, everybody? It's D-Bell. D-Bell for D-Bell to many, DeMarlin for some. There we go. Bro, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I feel like I should be doing it. A lot of people have been, all right, let me just give you a rundown. God has been telling me to start this. Just talking, conversation. It's not, it's like a podcast, but it's not. I'm just talking, bro. I'm talking. If you receive from it, you receive from it. If you don't, you don't. I hope you do. But at the end of the day, it's all about you. But I hope you're having a great day today. I really do. I hope that whatever you're going through, that you know that it's going to be okay. You just got to work. It's just as simple as that. You just got to work. That's repetition and consistency is what gets you to everything. So I just want to let you know that. But a lot of people have been asking me to start this, so here I am. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today, but I know I'm going to talk. So strap in your seatbelts and get ready for the ride. For y'all that don't know me, I'm DeMarlin Bell from Dallas, Texas. Inner city. I'm from inner city. So I'm proof that you can make it without doing everything that everybody else said you got to do in inner city. But 21, married, got a dog. Her name's Bongo. If you heard that thump, that was her. I was trying to make sure she was good. But I'm just, I feel like I have a lot of things to share, not only with people my age, but people that's older than me. I feel like I have a very unique vision on the way that I see life through my connection with the Holy Spirit. I think it's very present in the life that I live, and I'm starting to understand things. I'm starting to understand things are not what they seem. Things aren't what they tell you. Hey. Okay, I'll open the blinds. Hold on, I'll be back. Yeah, but back to what I was saying. I'm not trying to cut a lot of this stuff out, so I'm gonna keep it real raw and authentic. I'm gonna be me. But I see life in a very unique way. I think a lot of things are subjective based on your perspective, the way that you look at it compared to your situation. A lot of people will look at a lot of things very differently, but I feel like there's multiple sides to every situation, every story. And I feel like that's a good thing. But today, bro, I don't even know what I want to talk about. See, this is why I need somebody here to talk with me. Well, I don't. I feel like I got a lot to give off myself. But I was having a conversation with he's one of my old coaches, but he's more of a coach. His name's Coach Bennett. Me and Coach Bennett was talking, and Coach Bennett actually was like one of a lot of people that's been telling me to do this. But we was talking about back to school. For y'all, not everybody's gonna know this, but I used to work in schools. I used to work in middle schools and high schools. And when I was a kid, I was very bad in school because I was angry. I was angry at life. I lost my mom when I was 8 years old. My dad, he was a person in the house. It really wasn't like a father figure role, teach me a lot of things, how to be a man, what to do, what not to do. I saw a lot of things that I shouldn't become. So it was a lesson in it all. I learned either way it goes. But me and Bennett we was chopping it up, and we was talking about what you can do in someone's life. Like, you can either infect people or affect people. So we was chopping it up, we was talking, and we were talking about a particular kid that both of us had contact with. The kid I played football with the kid, and then when I graduated, and I decided, well, not just I decided, I was gonna go to college to play football. I was gonna be able to live out my dream of going D1, but things just didn't work out in my favor, and I'll get into that story a whole different day. But we were talking about this particular kid, and the story's out there, so it's not like I'm dry snitching or anything. But I grew up with this kid. His name's Taman, and I hope he's doing well. I really do. Taman was what people would consider a trouble kid. I feel like Taman was just like me. He was a kid that grew up in the inner city, not very much guidance, kind of like myself. Fell into the wrong things, I think. I don't know. I can't really tell you like what's right and what's wrong. But Taman's how old is Taman now? 18, 19 years old. He's in prison for 2 murders. And I don't know if he committed them or not. But I do know this. Before those murders, Taman came to school with 2 handguns to relieve someone of their duty of walking on earth. There we go, that's a great way of saying it. But in a moment like that, so me working in schools, I got to see the inside and the out. So, growing up as a kid, you're always taught that you're wrong, no matter what the situation is. Like, the kid is wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. That's poor leadership. Half the time, you're probably not even right. I mean, half the time, you're probably not even wrong. It's just the adult is not humble enough to admit it. And that's a big key of life for all my youngins out there. I want you to hear that. It's just, sometimes people just don't want to admit that. But Taman grew up just like me, trouble, fights. It's just the way that we were taught that we had to grow up. Like that was the thing. Like if someone steps to you, you defend in the way that you know how. And I feel like the difference between the way I got out of bad decisions, from not being in a gang when I had all the chances to not selling drugs when I had all the chances to not killing people when I probably could have been the person to kill people. Like there's a lot of things that God gave me the chance to get out of, and I feel like I'm here to give that to y'all as well, like some positive reinforcement, some positive guidance. But back to the story with Taman. Taman, he was a great kid. Like, I genuinely think today, if I were to ever write him or go see him, I would still see him as that great kid, because no matter if he did or if he didn't, no matter the decisions that he makes, it doesn't change who he is. We just make bad decisions in life, and we don't know they're bad until we have to sit in it. Sometimes we think it's cool. That's what the world has told us. Doing stuff like that is cool. Popping mollies, taking Xans is cool. Sipping lean is cool. Getting drunk so bad that you don't remember nothing is cool. Like, all of that is cool, but it's not. It's played out. But Taman, I told Coach Bennett this. I said, me working in the schools allowed me to realize that our society and our children and the kids today are so messed up because of them. Think about it. I said, think about it like this. When a kid goes to school and add in the extracurricular activities, the kid is spending 8 to 12 hours at school. So you get 24 hours in a day, 8 to 12 hours at school. And then you go home, you sleep for 8. So 8 to 12, you sleep for 8. So let's just call it, say you're at school for 11 hours and you add on those 8, 19 hours. You got 24 hours in a day. So that's 5 extra hours. You sleep for 8. So the school and sleep, 5 extra hours. Think about all the time that they have for those 5 extra hours. You got to eat, you got to shower, like you got to do homework. And I said, when kids go to school, teachers are like their parent. They're their guide, they're their leaders. And we have poor teachers out there now, bro. Like, I literally worked in a school and I heard a principal talk shit about a kid, like a middle school, like not even just a high school, a middle school. I'm working in the elementary school, middle school, and the high school. and I hear a principal, a leader, the leader of the school, talking shit about a 7th grader or a 6th grader or 8th grader. They're never gonna be anything. So then we wonder why people grow up and they do things that they shouldn't do, but they don't know any better because you told them that's what they were gonna be. And then you're surprised or you're heartbroken. But really, I said this to Coach Bennett, and this could be a crazy way of thinking about it. People can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I said, Taman is in the place that he's in because people like us didn't do our job. Like, we didn't. I feel like we failed him because there was moments, like Taman was a football player. There was moments as a coach you could talk to him. Not saying Coach Bennett, but I'm just being in general. As a moment, like you're put in that position to help a kid with a negative pathway of life to traject in a different direction. But so many people are caught up in the money that you make as a teacher or the money you make as a coach. They put money over everything. They put themselves over everything. They're not humble enough. They're not truly in it for the right reasons. There's not genuine intention there. So if a kid goes to jail for murder, 2 murders, at the age of 17, and you're like, yeah, I told you so. But what does that say about you? Like, you didn't do your job. And I feel like that's a lot of people today. A lot of people are I told you so people, or that person's never gonna be anything people. And these are leaders, like leaders saying this. And I just want to tell the person that's listening out there, maybe you have a bad leader in your life. Maybe it's a parent, a brother, a sister, a coach, a bad mentor, the music you're listening to, the people you watch on the television. Maybe they're not good for you. And it's okay to find, that was the trash can. Get out of the trash can. And there's a way to find positive reinforcements. You just got to move on. Like, and if you're a leader, check yourself, like big time. Look in the mirror, have a reality check. I told Bennett this as well. I said a lot of time those teachers, not just teachers, this is life people. A lot of times it's not a lot of times. People hate on other people because they think people are hating on them. So it's easier to hate first than to receive the hate, because you don't want to do that. You don't want to receive the hate because it makes you feel like shit. But if you give the hate, it makes you feel bigger. It makes your ego grow. And that's what our leaders have turned to. Egotistical leaders. Like men not really raising up other men because they're trying to prove that they're the big dog. When, like, sometimes you just got to pass the torch. Like, it's okay for the person that you're leading to surpass you. They're supposed to. That means you're a great leader. You're not supposed to stay in the position of power all the time. You're supposed to build up new people. And I feel like we've lived in a world where people have put you down based on your status, your religion, your race. And it's like, bro, that's not how it's supposed to be. I feel that we, as a human race, we're all meant to love each other and to build each other up. What does love mean? Love is in different ways. We all have something to give to the next person, but it's about what you give. You either infect people or affect people. Affect in a positive way, or infect and make it detrimental to their character, their lifestyle, their personality, their health. There's a lot of things that you can do to a person. So it's about what you receive is what you give off. And I feel like there's so much negative in there, and that's all we feed into. We feed into the negative. If we have a bad thought, we go straight to negative. If we have a thought we don't know about, we go straight to a negative. I texted my wife something a minute ago. I said, what did I say? Anxious thoughts create an anxious mind. My wife, she thinks a lot. She's a big thinker. And that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because you can think a thought and think yourself into a negative place. And as a leader, like your mind, not even as a leader, as a person, your mind is the thing that you're supposed to take care of first. That's where the spiritual battles happen. That's where confidence happens. That's where anxiety happens. That's where depression happens. Your mind controls it all. So what you believe, what you put your faith into, what you indulge in every day, it creates you. And a lot of people are just faking it. Like half of y'all are just faking it. Y'all just want to be like the next person because you think it's cool, but you hate it. And I've never understood that. Like when I was a kid, I was like, man, like, you know, this is cool. Until I almost died, and I'm like, man, this shit ain't cool. Like at the age of 16, I almost died, and it's like, man, if I would have died right now, I would have remembered as the hothead, the person that always wanted to be like everybody else. And it wasn't then until I realized, like, bro, I have to be me. Like there's one D Bell. There's one D Bell with the same type of DNA. Like my DNA is one of a kind. It can only be replicated in a lab, and I'm not gonna let that happen. But there's only one of me, so why not be me? Why be the next person? Like, why be Chris Brown? Why be Zac Efron? I'm D Bell, and I feel like every day I love that. I love that I get to be myself, and as we continue to go and as we continue to structure this podcast conversation thing, I don't know, whatever we want to call it, as we continue to structure it, we'll learn a lot more. Like we'll learn a lot about ourselves, we'll grow. Just as well as you guys want to grow, I want to grow. Like me giving this to y'all is helping me grow. It is. Like I've been sitting on this for months. I've been telling people I was going to start a men's group for months, but this is my men's group. Like I don't want to do the in-person. I feel like I'm better off giving keys to people. Like my goal is to reach men. If women are watching, I want you to grow as well. But my heart is for young men, older men, fathers and sons. Because I know what it was like wishing as a little boy to have that father that you see on TV. But having to accept the father that you have. Like that's deep. Like it's like you see all these great fathers for the people that didn't grow up with one or didn't grow up with the true love of a father. You see all these fathers, you see all this love that you get. And it's like, damn, I wish that was me. So I want to raise up people my age. I want to help you grow so you can be that father that you wanted as a kid. Or for the fathers that's already fathers, like on what a kid wants. Like what your son truly wants. Like your son, I look at life like very differently. People would rather spend time with you and less worried about the money that you make. Like your priorities, like what are your priorities in life? Like what matters to you most? Is it money or your family? Like I've seen that over and over a multitude of times, and it doesn't help the kid. I grew up around people that had money, and I grew up around people that were like me that had no money. And I was able to experience both sides of life in a way. See things differently on all perspectives. I just want people to grow. That's just my end goal. So if y'all have any topics, please drop them in the comments. If there's anything you want to hear about, drop it in the comments. Like I have a lot of stories. I have a lot of things that, by the grace of God, that I'm still here. We're going to get into the word, of course. I'm going to break some things down to y'all that I feel like has been interpreted to me. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong about everything that I'm talking to you about. So I want you to know that. I don't want you to just listen to me talk and believe everything I say. because a lot of it is opinion based. It's not fact, it's not proven. But I feel like the Lord is leading me into this. There's going to be some of me in it, and I want to decipher that as I give it to you, but I hope you can have the discernment to decipher that as well. Just 1 minute, mama. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all have a great day. I hope that the little nugget that I shared today helps. If it doesn't, maybe the next one does. But I feel like there's somebody out there that needed that maybe they need to change. Either themselves or the people around them need to change. Or maybe that today could be the last chance. Like the other day, let me see how much time I have left. Oh, we smoke. We got like 8 minutes. The other day, I want to share this last little story. The other day, it kind of, just like me dying at 6, it took me back to a moment. And this is why I felt so much empathy about the situation. But there's a car wreck. I live right by the highway. So there was a car wreck the other day, and the car wreck, it was there for like, usually when the car wreck is backed up for a very long time, then you know what happened. Like someone probably didn't make it. 99% of the time someone didn't make it. But I was going to the store to get some eggs for breakfast, and I passed by the car wreck and I saw it. It was a trailer attached to a truck. There was a Volkswagen. The Volkswagen was all the way under the trailer. There was an 18-wheeler up here. And when I looked, I knew. I just knew. I was like, yes, it doesn't look like somebody made it. Like all the airbags and the Volkswagen, I don't know. I hope they did. I really do. But all the airbags was blown out. The car was done for. But I saw that in my mind, like I just felt the heaviness. And when I got back home, the wreck was still there. I made breakfast, the wreck was still there. I got ready for the gym, the wreck was still there. I left to the gym, the wreck was still there. I still have sleep in my eyes. It's crazy, bro. I woke up and I did everything, bro, and I still have sleep in my eyes. But we left, and the wreck was still there. We left 3 hours later, and it had been there before I even left to the gym. So I knew. It was like certain then that something really bad happened. And it took me back to a moment when I was 16, when I almost died. And I asked myself, when I was 16, I asked myself, I was like, man, like, why am I still here? It's like, I have no purpose in life. I don't want to be here anymore. And maybe you're feeling like that right now. And maybe you have had a chance of not making it to the next day, but somehow you did. And that's because you have a purpose. See, just like that car wreck, your life could change in an instant. You could be gone tomorrow. And I was talking to this guy the other day, and it was like, I told myself after that moment, I never wanted to be a statistic anymore. I didn't want to be a gang member. I didn't want to be in jail. I was like, you're born with a number and you die as a number. And what you do in between that time, it's based off how you're remembered. And I told myself I would never, even though at 16, I didn't feel like I had a purpose in life anymore, I was going to keep going because I wanted to be remembered in a different way. The picture that I had before that was not positive. It was a blurry vision. It wasn't clear. It was not good. So I just want to tell the person today, whether older, younger, same age, middle age, don't give up. There's purpose in it all. There's a reason you're still here. There's a reason it didn't happen. Like whether it was naturally you almost didn't make it or it was self-induced, there's a reason it didn't happen. There's purpose in you. And life gets hard, life gets stressful as fuck, bro. You don't have to tell me, bro. I know. I know. I'm not just on this camera blowing smoke and like, bro, I know it gets tough. But that's the art of it. It's the art of striving. It's the art of faith. You just gotta find your thing. The thing that makes you you is the thing that's gonna help you be happy. So, with that being said, I love y'all. I hope y'all tune in again. If you don't, I completely understand. But yeah, I'm DeMarlon Bell. I have a lot more to share. I love y'all. Stay blessed. I'm gonna pray for you real quick. Dear Father God, I just ask that you bless the person behind the screen. Lord, I ask that you bless their spirit. Lord, comfort them, protect them, and guide them. Lord, keep them safe, give them wisdom and discernment, Lord, to know what's not for them and what's for them, Lord. I ask that you send leaders and protectors into their life. I ask that you send love and joy into their life and peace. In Jesus' name, amen.